Hi and welcome back to 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏𝗀𝗀. In today's video, we're going to be diving down into the crypto space, taking a look at a few charts to see what has been going on. We can see that BTC is having a bit of a correction, so this might have a bit of an impact on those altcoins. As we get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. Really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏𝗀𝗀. Right, with all that said, done, and out of the way, let's jump on down to the charts, take a look at what's going on here in the crypto space. Okay guys, so to start with, we're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin here, since it is kind of leading the pack. It's important that we understand what's going on. Obviously, if I just zoom out, we can see that there was a big ABC correction on the larger time frames. You can see this basically all the way up from up here. Here's your A, your B, and your C. What I'm going to quickly do, just to make this a little bit more prominent, I'm going to make this red, and I'll just increase it by a pixel. Okay, so we can kind of see this big red ABC to the downside. Inside here, there was the 5 impulsive waves that basically formed out our wave 1. We had the push to wave B just up here. And again, this was kind of a bit of a fake pump, if you will, kind of getting that correction, finding the upper resistance, and then coming right down, some more FUD, bringing us down, completing that C wave. Then from here, we see this ABC move. Okay, and arguably we can start this from down here if we want, but I think actually it makes more sense to be down here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in on this. I've spoken about this a few times, this ABC move to the upside. Okay, and what we can do is obviously just measure out that A wave. Okay, it's important that we understand where things were going. We go throw this onto the bottom of the B, and it measures out where C should have landed. C should have landed just around about here. Now, the important thing with this is actually we came close to going impulsive up, as in we almost breached that 1.382. We didn't, we came back down. So again, nice overextension on the 1-for-1 ratio, but we failed to kind of go ahead and turn it impulsive. So it is ABC, no 1 through 5, and this now means that we are in the ABC correction. Okay, pull back here for wave 1. Push up, sorry, wave A, and then move up for wave B, and then down for wave C. Now I'm going to quickly make this 1 pixel and yellow so we can see that a little bit clearer. Okay, so right now we can see that we had that pullback. This is in line with our expectations. We were talking about this, and we can see that that took us into the oversold area, and now we're looking to push back up. Okay, wave B, we're halfway through the stochastic, so it'll be a little bit more of a push. I do expect upper resistance to be found up here anyway, so maybe 51k seems to be the upper limit for the B wave. And we can obviously test this by using a Fibonacci retracement tool from the top to the bottom here. And again, you can see that the likelihood is a 618. Don't always go that high though. We have to bear that in mind. That would be 52k. Just up here. No, sorry, 51,200. Sorry. Anything lower than that, likelihood we could see 51 on the nose. So I'm going to be conservative. We'll put it at 50% there, and the bounce up to 50% before falling back down. Now, what we're going to do is we'll take this, so we'll put this on top of our B wave high, and this then gives us a bit of an idea as to where we are likely to go and end up with that C wave correction. That would put it Bitcoin at about 49k. Okay, so still looking pretty good. And again, it's a small ABC correction after a relatively big ABC move up, specifically that C wave. Once this comes in, we'll then be looking for that reversal again, an ABC up. Okay, so overall, there's a little bit more confidence coming back into the market on Bitcoin. We can see that within the narrative of the news. We can see that 26% of adult American population owns Bitcoin, apparently, according to a survey. We can see, basically various different kind of news articles around Bitcoin about how to donate Bitcoin while investing. How predicting parabolic rises in the coming months for BTC. BTC is a better reserve than gold. So these narratives are now forming right after this correction. This is usually what you see, and trying to get more retail investors to FOMO in, the usual kind of stuff you understand. So ultimately, yeah, see this ABC coming down. Now this obviously has an impact on the altcoins as well, right? So understanding what's going on with Bitcoin is good. Specifically after this big pullback with an ABC. And again, one of the bigger pictures here that we need to acknowledge is this could actually be a part of a much bigger wave in itself, okay, but we don't know this just yet. We can obviously take a look at these micro movements here and just be aware of what's kind of going on. But if we did actually go ahead and bring this up into our daily view, we can see the head and shoulder pattern, right? And I don't think this is going to play out, but it's important that we are aware of it, right? And we could potentially have this right shoulder form and then pull back and obviously go into a bear market. This head and shoulder pattern would lead to a bear market. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's important that we understand that there is this pattern forming here on the daily chart as well. Okay, so with that being said, let's actually just take a look at what's going on. So you can see the bigger ABC here coming down, and this could be a part of a much bigger A, B, and C move to the upside. And again, you know, there could be a C wave taking us into completing the right shoulder and starting to pull back down. So we'll be watching this quite closely to see what happens here. Obviously, we want Bitcoin to eventually get that blow off top so that it can then cool off. Money can roll out of Bitcoin into Ethereum, into the altcoins and so forth, right? So it's important that we understand what's going on. Let's actually take a look at Ethereum on that note, right? We obviously did a little bit of analysis yesterday. Let me just zoom in on this on the hourly. So again, here we can see the bigger ABC correction, right? And I've just drawn this over kind of just to kind of make it a little bit more visible, but you can see here A, B, and C, right? Large ABC. This actually had an ABC in the middle here, following up on that B wave. That B wave basically is an ABC, and obviously we have the ABC coming down. Now, obviously, I did see some comments. Why is everything in ABC? Well, that's Elliott wave. We are looking at wave counts. ABCs are basically just wave counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulsive, A through E triangular, and so forth, right? So we're trying to just kind of keep it nice and simple, not overcomplicate things. Elliott wave, that's what we do on this channel. So if you're wondering why everything is an ABC, that is why. But we obviously use resistance. Trend lines are pretty poor, so we don't tend to use those too much. And obviously, you know, resistance levels. Right, so here we go, right? So we can see the ABC down, completing the C wave, ABC up, right? And this is a big ABC up that we're monitoring here. We've measured the distance between A, targeting out, you know, that C wave high. Okay, C wave high comes in at about 46,600, 4,664 if I can get my numbers out today. We can see though, but we are going to be full of ABC moves inside here. Okay, and we're inside this move right now on the slightly smaller scale. So we're going to zoom in here and we're going to pay attention to kind of what's going on, right? We are heading to the overbought area right now with this particular you know, moment, and actually I think we are likely to go down a little bit lower with Ethereum before we go ahead and actually get this higher level. Okay, and so basically this is down to the fact that there's going to be an ABC inside this C wave on a slightly smaller scale, right? So the bigger ABC that I've already put on here is a larger time frame. I've just drawn it on here on the hourly to make it a little bit easier to kind of see the larger trend. But we'll be tracking something like this on our hourly, I think. So we are looking to just kind of pull back. This B wave could probably be over here somewhere. Okay, so we'll look to come down out of the overbought area down a little bit. Okay, and then catch that next wave to the upside. This will probably happen once Bitcoin finishes its correction, okay? And then obviously we'll be going up for that C wave, in my opinion. So right now, that's kind of what you're tracking. You're tracking this bigger ABC move on Ethereum, and basically we're just waiting to kind of get that last little bit of correction inside this B wave before we catch that wave to the upside there. So overall, you know, Ethereum is actually looking pretty good. If we actually take a look at VeChain, we actually zoom out on this one onto our daily view. This is where we can see the A through E. Okay, this is basically Elliott triangle, Elliott wave triangle. Basically, nice big view on the daily, right? And we can kind of see this one playing out. This is something that we've seen previously. If I actually grab that, that'll be up there, for example. So basically, from the top of our wave 3, this is the big impulsive waves on the weekly chart, and we can see an A wave coming down. That would be the bottom of wave 4. Okay, on our 5 impulsive waves to the upside. Now we're trading sideways inside this triangle. Here's your B wave high, and inside here there's an ABC. ABC down to that C wave low, and now we're looking for an ABC move to the D high. That'll be followed by an ABC move to the low E, which will then trigger a parabolic move for VeChain. So VeChain's looking very, very good. And still tracking nicely on this, but do expect volatility. This is the daily chart. This is not an hourly chart. This is going to take some serious time to play out. It takes us into 2022. Okay, so it's good to kind of know what's going on there with VeChain. And if we actually take a look at ADA, we haven't taken a look at ADA for a little while here, but there is a change in trend. Okay, we can obviously take a look at this in lots of different ways. So we were tracking a nice a 1 through 5 motion to the upside, right? And with that, we had $11 as the trend-based fib on the weekly, right? And it looks like actually we've deviated quite heavily away from that kind of pattern. So kind of looking at this slightly differently now, new trend potentially forming, waiting to see how that one plays out. Large ABC coming down again, looking for that larger ABC move to the upside. I will remove that for now, but that's kind of the expectation. Potentially now starting on the cusp of a new trend that could be potentially very, very big here for Cardano. So when we actually start thinking about, this trend line at the bottom here, this is an ascending trend line. I don't tend to use trend lines too much, but you can see this one's got many touch points on it, so it's relatively strong. And again, what we're doing here is basically just monitoring the situation. I think once these dApps actually properly launch on the ecosystem, which will be coming shortly, we're going to see some colossal pump with Cardano. So I think we've got some pretty good progress so far. We're holding quite well. It's quite disappointing to see us actually slip down below the 786, the 702, the 618. This is an area that we were holding really well for a period of time. But again, I'm still expecting some pretty interesting numbers to occur here with Cardano in the new year. And it's rather unfortunate that, that basically the speculative investors have basically just tried to chase the green candles, and they've thrown their money into some pretty dangerous projects, in my opinion. So Cardano is a pretty safe project, in my opinion. I think it's got a lot of promise to it. The PAB on the testnet is working well as far as I understand it. And, in the future, we're going to start seeing a lot of dApps launch on the ecosystem, and this is going to bring a large number of transactions. Those transactions are going to give ADA a utility that it hasn't currently got. Okay, we can see, there's NFTs, there's staking, but we're going to see dApps launch, which are going to be a colossal number of transactions to the chain. This is going to lead to a demand for ADA that hasn't been seen before, which will obviously allow for the price to appreciate, with a certain amount of circulating supply actually held up off, basically being delegated off exchanges, etc. And this is going to help, squeeze the supply. And as a result, as that demand increases, the token price will rapidly rise to the upside. Okay, so with that, you'll then start to see more speculative investors jumping in again, ditching things like Solana and some of these metacoin projects, maybe even ditching some of those meme coins in favor of ADA, chasing more green candles. Okay, so obviously interesting things in the future, I feel, for Cardano. So all eyes on PAB. They're on the AGIX, ERC20 converter, getting AGIX onto Cardano. And anyone who knows about artificial intelligence, Singularity Net, Singularity DAO, NewNet, and everything that's kind of going on with the Singularity ecosystem is going to be pretty impressive. So overall, everything's looking pretty good from this kind of perspective. So Cardano right now pulling back the way it has done. We are waiting for that reversal. But yeah, do expect some more volatility on the smaller timeframes. But the larger pieces, it's interesting to see this shift in trend, and we should hopefully start to set a new trend, which could potentially take this much, much higher in the new year. So one to watch out for, a bit of a dark horse in my opinion. For the most part, all these other altcoins are pretty much similar. They're following pretty good paths with nice kind of direct trajectory to the upside. And again, we are tracking these nice big ABC moves on the larger timeframes, and there are some smaller moves happening inside on the hourlies as well. As we can see here, we pulled back with this B wave on eGold and Elrond, and we are looking to try to track this nicely to the upside. And if I actually remove this one for a second, we can see here that actually what we're tracking and what we're waiting for is a nice big move with our C wave high here. So yeah, waiting to see how that one plays out. Do expect some more volatility on this smaller time frame though. We are overbought, so we are looking to kind of correct this down a little bit with an ABC here before we continue that growth to the upside on Elrond. This is a clear example of people chasing green candles. We set an all-time high of over $500 only to have that completely pulled right back, lose 50% of its value almost, in this ABC move to the downside. Okay, so, chasing green candles doesn't always work. Chase solid technicals, chase solid fundamentals. I mean, Elrond has solid fundamentals, but obviously when you FOMO in, you're going to get burnt. Guys, I'm going to leave the video there. If you have found it useful, informative, there's a lot kind of going on in the space, then do hit the like button. Really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new, then do subscribe to the channel, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you haven't done so yet, check us out on Patreon, on Discord. We do a lot more technical analysis, screenshots there, and obviously we do answer questions and do live streams with the members as well. So do check that out. Right, guys, with all that said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.